This is concrete pour part 5 of a series of videos that I've done on these concrete steps. So in this video, what I'm going to be doing here is I poured the first 2 steps in the previous video, and now what I'm doing is I'm just packing behind the corner of these steps here, and this is about a 6-7 inch width area back there, so it's pretty difficult to get the concrete back there with the shovel without getting it all over the house. So what I'm doing is I'm just using my hands with gloves on and just packing it in there. So these gloves have a rubber coating on the inside, so I won't be able to get any chemical burns or anything like that, and just makes it a little bit more easier for me to place the concrete back there. The concrete that I used on these stairs is 32 MPa, 3/4 inch quarry stone, and I poured it at about a 4-inch slump. I like to pour these steps pretty dry, mainly because then I can strip it and I can finish it in a couple of hours. So you can see the rebar down there at the bottom of the pad. Now that's 15M rebar. And what I did was, as I was pouring it, I just lift the rebar up about an inch into the bottom of the concrete. I find when you're doing projects like this, chairs don't really work that well. You end up crushing them or walking on them. So it's kind of an inconvenience for me. So I just lift the rebar up. That way I know how high it is into the pad and I can control the depth of the rebar. So the total estimated cost for this project came in at $5,800 Canadian, and that included the full demolition of these concrete steps, the pad as well, and the removal, excavation, sand installed, including rebar reinforcement, and the forming and finishing, cleanup, and a little bit of topsoil added after. Alright guys, so when I'm doing estimates on concrete projects, typically I have a starting price point. For projects like this, it starts at about $5,000, and depending on the size and the scale of the project, how many cubic meters are going to go into it, the complexity of the build and the finishing options. The price can vary by a couple of thousand pretty easily, but I mean, I always start off with a starting price point to make sure that all of the costs are being met, and I don't try to drop my prices to get competitive. I try to stay within my own price point, and hopefully that'll pay off. So what I'm going to do right now is just hit the concrete with a cordless DeWalt vibrator. And what this is doing is it's just knocking out the air pockets in the concrete and help consolidate the surface a little bit. Alright guys, so like I said in some of my other videos, I carry mostly DeWalt tools when I build with concrete. The vibrator's been a great addition. The drills and that, everything's held up pretty well, even in the colder part of the seasons. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking the magnesium hand float and I'm getting right under that edge of the bottom step. So that area right across the back and also under the step, just to make sure all that concrete is nice and flat. So when I take off these boards, we're going to get a nice clean 90-degree angle. So the concrete's pretty firm, as you can see. I'm just kind of working it around, getting that that area under the step nice and flat, pulling out that extra concrete. And you can see me, I'll just do this circular sort of pattern. And the circular pattern really helps flatten the concrete, and it also brings up the cream. Alright, so now I'm just gonna get that back edge a bit more, make sure it's troweled nice and smooth. It's just a really tight area to get into, so I just want to take my time and make sure that everything's nice and flat and sloping away from the home. So you can't really see it here, but I basically concaved the section in between there just a little bit to get the water to flow away from the house and out in front of the step and down the driveway. Alright guys, so what I'm doing is just topping up some of the areas while I have access to the steps. Thanks for watching guys. If you want to know more about pricing, estimates, marketing, or anything like that, feel free to leave a message, let me know. Thanks for watching, and if you need concrete work within the Waterloo region, Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge, Guelph, check out my website, theartofconcrete.ca. Thanks for watching guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.